Hi humans, APOC here. Today I'm going to be breaking down Devil Dinosaur on how to play him and how to get value out of him, because his kit's pretty easy and straightforward, but you can mess up a lot of things. So we're just going to get straight into it, and I'm going to try and show gameplay footage also of me doing these things. I might not be able to get any, but we'll see. So first off, let's go through his kit, right? If you don't know, bite applies bleed, right? So when you bite someone, it bleeds. Over time, it does damage, right? And the same happens with your beam. If you press your beam attack, it does a little bit of bleed, and your beam attack gives you overshield, so you wouldn't be using that a lot, right? But let's get to his first ability. Savage Predator. Dash and pounce to your prey with a vicious bite, applying a bleed. If the target is already bleeding, clamp down for holding them away. Now what people don't know is when you go to bite someone, right, you can't grab them unless they're already bleeding. So you see how I just look at this. You see how I'm not grabbing him? It's because he's not bleeding. So every combo you do, when you start a combo, you want to make sure you apply bleed first. So you want to bite and then you can grab them, right? So normal bite to apply the bleed and then you grab them. Or you can use your laser attack and you can grab them. So every combo, if you're wondering why you can't pick people up, it's because you're not applying the bleed effect to them, which you need to be applying every time. Now, one thing to do, right, when you do the bleed is you want to kidnap them, right? So you make them bleed and you kidnap them and you throw them into your team, and your team should be able to finish them off. He has a lot of HP, so you won't always get the kill, but that's what you want to do with people, right? But you can do it even further. Because if you do the bite attack, right, there's a jump, right? There's a jump. So what you want to do is you want to make sure if you press jump, back, and bite at the same time, you can make them go further, like this. Me apply the bleed. That's how far I dragged him, right? That's a pretty good distance. So I'm going to show you normal, and I'm going to show you with that technique. Normal to the staircase, right? Now let's kill him. We're going to do it again. This time I'm going to try the other way. Okay, I missed the jump. You try it again. It's a little bit more. It's not too much more, but it's a little bit more, right? It definitely helps depending on the environment you're in. So definitely keep that in mind when you're trying to do that technique. But yeah, drag them into your team is the best way to basically kill them. But one more thing to add to the combo is your sphere, right? When you use this, it slows enemies inside and it blocks healing. So people can't be healed when inside the bubble. So ideally, when you want to do a combo, you want to bite, drag him, and then like that, right? So you apply the bleed, you grab them. As soon as you grab them, you activate your bubble, and then when they land, you use your second attack, your frenzied feast. You do all of that, and if you have a good enough team, they should be able to kill it easily. So like this. Lock off all the healing, and it's just you and them. They're slowed, and your team should be behind, shooting and damaging them. That's what you want to do whenever you get a chance to. Thank you.
Solomon, what are you doing?
Man is actually insane.
Oh.
Grab this bit, get it. Yeah. Behind. Now, you're not always going to be able to pull this off because there's a lot of variables, obviously, depending on who you're playing against and your team. But that's ideally what you want to do when you're playing. And if you didn't know, when you melee with the dinosaur, he swings his tail, right? Back and forth. So you can't melee him forward. You have to be behind. It doesn't do too much damage. So I recommend playing on a higher sense with Dino. Some people like to do this where you can bite and then you turn, and then you turn again, and then you bite again. So it's kind of like that. But I think his melee is too weak to prioritize this. But I do think it's very important because if you didn't know, if you hold down your attack button, it just keeps doing this, right? And if you hold down your melee button, it does your tail swing. So your behind will always be doing damage no matter what. So what I think is important to do is to bind your button, depending on what you're using. I'm using a controller. So what I like to do, right? Go to Devil Dinosaur. And you want to make sure you bind his attack. So as you see here, melee attack, I bind it to circle. Because when you're doing it with R3, sometimes it's hard to like focus. So I put it to circle. So I always have this on my paddle, like this. And now when you're facing people with ults, I think of an Invisible Woman ult, right? When you're in an Invisible Woman ult, it's a circle. So there's going to be people in front of you, there's going to be people behind you. So you're going to be doing attacks in front, but your behind is also going to be damaging people constantly. I think it's very important you know this, because especially also when you use your ult, it just helps do extra damage. And if you have a higher sense, you can swing your tail depending on the targets coming at you. And you know, every little bit of damage is really important in fights. So that's something I would really recommend when doing the Devil Dinosaur. And you need to time, really important you would time defense ults, right? So when you're facing against supports, it's always important to know if they have their ult or not and how long it lasts. Because you can easily kill things if you time it well. So for example, a Luna ult is around 10 seconds, right? So you don't want to activate your ult. Your ult is 10 seconds long. So if they're Luna ults and you ult, it's pretty useless. Alright, it's not going to do as much. Now, Invis, her ult is 5 seconds. So what you want to do is, as soon as they pop their ult, you want to count 4 seconds, and then on the 5th second, you ult, and they're all going to be in one confined spot in the middle. So you just stay alive for 4 seconds, pop your ult on the 5th second, and it's just free eats. So you need to make sure you know how long their defense ults lasts, because your ult is 10 seconds. That's very healthy. A Cloak and Dagger's ult is like 12 seconds. Invis ult's like 5 seconds. Manet's ult's like 10 seconds. So you want to definitely time it whenever you're deciding you want to ult. Not to mention, his ult is very, very strong. Paired with Gambit or Rocket ult, it's actually really insane. But yeah, that's what I like to do. You ult, and when you ult, make sure you're spamming. You want to spam the R1 attack while using your tail whip, because it's going to do the most damage. But you also want to apply bleed if you can. Bleed's very important, because even if you die, the excess damage can still kill the enemy, and if your teammate's doing damage too, it just adds on extra, like it all adds up. So it's very good. His laser attack isn't too strong, but it does create a lot of value because of the fact of it gives you overshield. So whenever you need it, you can overshield, and then you also have your bubble. Like, his kit's very good. I mean, his kit's pretty straightforward. It's just the combos you would like to use. It depends on, you know, the way you play. But as I said, I like to just do bite, grab, shield, and then just start going crazy on them. And this is a tank, obviously. So he's gonna be pretty strong. If you're placing someone who's not a tank, they die pretty quick. Look at that. It's really easy. Really easy one-shot combo. Just grab. I missed. But the excess damage, look at it. It just destroys him. So it's really important when you're doing combos with him. Whenever you grab someone, make sure you always apply the bleed first. Grab them and then bubble straight away. Because then they're slowed. And then they can't get healed by their supports, and then they're in our front line, and we just have our DPS and tank destroy him. So it really does depend on who you're going for as well, because obviously when you're grabbing tanks, it's more chance of them surviving. But if you can grab a squishy, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be able to just get a free pick And also, when you're doing this, remember to wag your tail so that way all the people that are charging at you trying to stop that grab, they're getting hit. So you're always going to be damaging someone no matter what you're doing. It's just, yeah, very good. Dino's so good. Absolutely insane. So yeah, that's my guide really. I don't really know how more in-depth I can be. As I said, I'll try to show gameplay on screen of certain things if I can get gameplay of it. But if not, it's my bad. But yeah, he's very strong. I think he's one of the highest HPs in the game. With his overshield, he can get up to like 1300, which is crazy. But yeah, Dinosaur definitely is really meta right now. So I'll recommend using him. And see you guys in the next video. Peace. Pushing up. Then low. I'm gonna ult. I ulted too. Still killable. Wait, these guys are. Yeah, I got one. Angela, get Bucky. Bucky nice. Nice. White Fox. No. Nice. Oh, what the fuck? The map changed. Nice. Oh my gosh. That was insane. Oh, I'm ulting now.
Yeah, oh. There you go, help. Alright,
nice. Don't die. Fly. Fly.
Yep.
Dead.
Yep.
White Fox. Nice. Who's on it? Lucky.